Good morning. Today is Wednesday, February 1st, 2023. On my mind today is self forgiveness. Self forgiveness. It may or may not surprise you that I am one that has in the past been very, very, very hard on myself. In truth, I recognize that I have judged myself far more than I have ever judged any other or perceived other. I'm not sure why I have in the past held myself to such a standard. And for the purposes of this contemplation today, and from the perspective where I currently stand, I'm not really even wanting to judge myself for wanting to be good, for wanting to achieve, for wanting to accomplish. I think all of those things can be wonderful and in alignment with the higher truth of who and what you are, who and what I am. So suppose what I'm speaking to is what has happened to me in times of challenge, struggle, obstacle, and particularly in relationships. When I feel or perceive that I have fallen short of what I'm capable of the full realization and manifestation of my highest truth in a moment. So I can look back upon situations and circumstances and think or feel from where I currently stand, I wish I'd handled that differently, or I was not very considerate of that person, or that was wrong of me. You know the dialogues that I'm referring to. My sense is it is very, very important that we all learn to forgive ourselves for not being or for not perceiving ourselves to be divinely perfect and righteous in each moment. Isn't that actually part of the point that's implicit in having a human 3D life experience? That you realize contrast and challenge so that you may know yourself through it. So what happens when you don't forgive? And I've experienced this. When you don't forgive yourself, then you are carrying along that energy with you in your field, that density. And it is inhibiting your expression. So perhaps in my experience, self-love was a precursor to having the ability or capacity to forgive myself. I grew up receiving a lot of love So again, I'm not really sure why I didn't really know how to love myself and instead, more often, was critical or judgmental of myself. But in the past few years, one of the actions of my awakening process has been realization of myself as love. And when you have that realization, you can't not also be the recipient of the love that you have, or the love that you are, or the love of the Creator that is moving through you and becoming you. These are just words. I hope you're feeling the energy of it. So, if I were going to say, is there a practice to this? What am I suggesting? If you have things, memories, if you've had experiences that you feel bad about, that you feel guilty or shameful of, guilty for or shameful of, from your past, I'm willing to say you can probably already discern something you've learned through it. You know, what did it come to teach you, that experience? If you've already realized the learning, then my hope is that you move into a space of grace and acceptance and then self-forgiveness. Realize that that was then, and you behaved or decided as you could in that moment, as you did in that moment. It's not about denying the situation or what happened or how you were or what you did. It was what it was, and it is not now. And you have the right and the ability to move into a space of self-forgiveness and to release that from your field. That dense shame or blame or guilt or judgment, whatever it is. You also have the right to continue to carry it around. It's your choice. So my sense is that one thing that may benefit a lot of people to realize is that the source that manifested you is not the energy that is blaming and shaming and judging. This is a distortion. If you've been subject to teachings that there is some energy or authority that is in judgment of you, that is outside of you, that this is a distortion. We at this level are the ones that judge and shame and blame and criticize. The source that manifested you loves you. And so, if you're tuning into that and you are as that, how could you not forgive yourself? To do that would be to deny the action of the source that made you. Again, my sense is we have that choice to make as well. Okay, I hope there's some value in this for you today. I had an epiphany in the past few days about some specific things in my experience that I realized I hadn't forgiven myself. And so now I'm moving through that, and I've accomplished that. And so my sense is that self-forgiveness then can lead to a space of forgiveness that permeates all your relationships, and you can free yourself and others from the ties to past events in history that may still be claiming you. Okay. Thanks so much again, as always, for joining me, and I hope this was meaningful for you today, and I will leave it right there and look forward to connecting with you all again tomorrow.